the Expeditionary Commission firmly established and funding for my widget secured, I have, to my great dismay, been spending far more time with my academic peers here in our world than I would prefer. Having been serenaded by the dulcet melodies of the islands for these many years, I find I tire not so much of the squabbles and the drudgery of administration, no, but the lack of rhythm. What I wouldn't give to supplant the incessant drone of the teens, or the supplications of the would-be pioneers, with the clarion call of a sponge, or the heavenly tones of a fir corn. I now return to my ceaseless pile of assistant applications. How lucky to be them, to discover the wondrous world of songsters for the first time. This is indeed thirsty work. This application from a Louis B. is intriguing. I have been keeping up a friendly correspondence with a remarkable German fellow named Zeppelin, who is keen on aeronautics. He has been outlining his plans for the creation of a rigid airship that is to be inflated with lifting gas to carry passengers all over the world. I haven't wanted to burst his bubble, so to speak, but this purported invention of his seems to be predated in the songster civilization by a vessel of similar design. Through close examination of recordings of wind currents, I have identified the movements of what I am calling a sky ship. The identity of its pilot still a mystery. I confess to being a bit put off that old Zeppy's planning to patent this idea of his. The development of his prototype coincides all too closely with the disappearance of my former assistant, along with my study notes about the skyship. Is that not intellectual property theft? Not of mine, but of the songsters themselves? Perhaps they do not concern themselves with such things. In any event, I must be more selective with my assistants in training in the future. I'm not sure how to catalog today's discovery, so I shall capture this audio diary before the experience escapes me, or where to begin. I have theorized that although no prior records exist of human contact with the songsters, there has been routine interaction between the two worlds throughout history. This clandestine cultural exchange may have even resulted in the formation of totally new life forms that would go on to be elevated to legendary status in the local mythos. I have hesitated to put pen to paper for this theory, if for nothing else but my own fear to explore the metaphysical implications of such a thing. But what I witnessed, the sound waves that graced my ears, have sent me positively reeling. It is, of course, not uncommon for songsters of different types to gather. That's how they make their music, after all. This, however, was something other. It sounded more akin to a great roaring assembly, with a crowd of spectators cheering and enthusiastically enjoying the show. The din was unbelievable, as if the entirety of the audience at Royal Albert Hall had abandoned their inhibitions and gave themselves completely over to the music. It was not unlike the style one might hear in a speakeasy shop, or even, dare I say it, the box socials of New England. And as for the performer itself, they sounded unlike anything I had ever heard before. The species calls I've documented thus far have been largely, organic sounding. The pitch of this songster had a synthetic, artificial quality to it, but still quite artful in its execution. I don't believe I even have the vocabulary to properly describe it. Quite a rare moment for me. My recording machinery registered waveforms the likes of which I could never have imagined. between the unexpected performative setting and the automatous sound of the mysterious voice, I must pose the question. Has this performer been influenced in some way by the technologies of the human world? And if not, is it the other way around? Could the sonic legacy of this legendary figure someday make an impact on our own society's music? I must act decisively to try and catch another performance. I am ill-suited for this decade. Music was much better in the 80s. Ah, my beloved 1880s. And even that pales in comparison with the wonders I have been listening to over in... Bah! Blast this infernal apparatus. My patience is running thin. I resolve not only to hear the songsters, but to behold them with my own eyes as well. But the widget has been giving me no end of trouble as of late. To travel to an existence separate from my own is a dream I hope to one day achieve. But first, it seems I may have to do some traveling myself. The fabric of reality between my own world and that of the songsters is not of a consistent strength and integrity. It seems like there are places in our world that accommodate interdimensional travel better than my own humble office. 2 such sites have been earmarked for future consideration. One in a remote area of the Siberian Governorate, and another northwest of New York City. But first, I need to get this blasted thing working. Wait, could it be? Is it finally? Oh, hello!